Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use, please? M0JCF. This is a final request, please. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? M0JCF. Nothing is heard. CQ, CQ80, 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 CQ80. This is Mike 0, Japan, Charlie Fox. Mike 0, Japan, Charlie Fox, calling 80. CQ80, 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 CQ80. This is Mike 0, Japan, Charlie Fox. Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot, calling 80. CQ80, CQ80, CQ180. This is Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot. Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot, calling 80. G0WYD, I recognise that call sign, at least I think I do. Very good evening. The name this end is Mark, that's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm just down in Kent, down there in the southeast of England. Lovely, it's pouring with rain and it's freezing cold. Back to you, G0WYD, M0JCF.
On the desk. Anyway, lovely to hear you. Happy New Year, Mark, and hope everything's well. M0JCF, G0WYD.
Yeah, G0WYD M0JCF. Oh, very good evening, Bob. Yeah, you've got me. You got me banged to rights. Yes, it was drag racing. My QSL card is me racing at Santa Pod on a Turbo Suzuki back in the day, but I don't do that anymore. Life changes and everything. Things start to ache where they shouldn't ache, or you don't realise you got bits that can ache, and being hunched over a motorbike and trying to hammer it down a quarter mile, it's all got a bit too much. But I know the WYD for some reason was the bit that caught me, and I'm wondering if I've worked you maybe on 60 metres. I mean, I could be wrong, but and it might just be one of those things, like when you see faces in the clouds, etc. It could be that's what I'm seeing there with the call sign. But as you say, you know me from the QSL card, so that's absolutely superb. But you're 5 and 9, or just nudging 5 and 9 to me. I won't put too much credence on the figure that I'm seeing on the meter. I'm using tonight, and the first time that I've worked you on it is a Yaesu Fox Tango 101 Zulu Delta. So an old hybrid radio, and it's as I say, it's the first time I've worked you on this radio, and I think the meter's a little bit lazy compared to my TS520S and a few other radios. It does seem to read at least 1.5 S points low. So 5 and 9's probably good, and the reason I say that as well is this one always registers my noise floor as S5, and normally on 80 meters my noise is normally around S7. So that's that story over and done with. Back to you there for a bit of a chat. G0WYD M0JCF.
And as always, I'm always thinking about where a bit of line or a vertical or something stupid. And I told them we had the other person signed, and me and you chatted for a few minutes, and we got onto the motorbike bit. I think I had a look on your QRZ and saw you a plethora of radios all stacked up on shelves and bits and pieces. And fine on the 101ZD, mate. Yeah, I had 3 of them up until quite some time ago, and they all went off to surface. No, one gentleman got the lot, I think, when I came back into the hobby. I've been out for about 17 years, so there we go. Nothing so splendid here, just running an Icom 7300, which is my standby radio, the radio I use for field days, and the standby linear is the Ecom 2000D, so I'm running about 250 watts, and the antenna is an end fed up at 30 feet, so up 10 meters, and that runs north-south there, Mark, so hopefully you're getting me okay. Band's not ideal for the UK at the minute. Earlier on this afternoon it wasn't too bad, but that'll keep it getting a little bit later before it finally dies off, but seems like they'll make doing a wonderful job, and you're not wandering anywhere, which normally happens with old radios. This is you tune up, you set yourself on a frequency, and somebody listens says, oh, you're a couple of kilohertz down or whatever, but that's not moved so far, and lovely to hear you this evening, Mark. So that's the working conditions this end. Nothing too grand. I've just fired the computer up, so I've got a little bit of emailing to do, so I thought I'd do that, but I'd give you a call before I missed you. Yes, lovely to hear you, Mark. G0WYD, alright?
Yeah, G0WYDM0JCF. Well, Bob, it's interesting you say about the radio wandering around, because funnily enough, this one does just that. It wanders, I suppose, about 100 hertz every 10 minutes, and just in the QSO there, it was just flickering slightly. I mean, I'm seeing 3.728, but in the course of a really long over, when it's really revving its nuts off, and I can see it drift like 100, 200 hertz sometimes, but it seems to be quite stable this evening. Yeah, you're right about that shelf full of gear. I've still got that. That's in my loft, but that's where I would say, in inverted commas, more of my smaller and more modern equipment is, like my TS590S and other radios like that, and all my 2-meter SSB gear, etc., is all up there. What I've got now is I built a second shack, or rather converted part of the garage, and just the last 9-10 months I've been using a Tango Sierra 520 Sierra, which is obviously even older than this Yaesu. It's a lovely trio though, and that one doesn't drift or anything, but of course it's got an analog dial, and unless I'm looking at it head on and I'm closing one eye and I'm using a magnifying glass, I'm always out for, like, physically by like anything up to 1 kilohertz, but I think we could be forgiven for that. As I say, this radio normally spot on, and yeah, it's as I say, when it warms up a bit it can drift, but not so that you'd be chasing me around the band. Running about, I'm just checking the power meter now, just nudging 100 watts. On the tune up, when I was tuning up beforehand, I was seeing about 160 watts maybe on 80 meters, and that's into a 90-foot long wire. Now, like you, my long wires also running north-south. It's about excuse me, it's about 90 feet long, and like yours, about 25-30 feet off the ground, and it's not so much a straight random wire, it's in an inverted U shape, so it's got a vertical section at each end, and I find that works really well on the higher bands for working DX directly south. So although it's running north-south, I would imagine there's a lobe probably off of the far end, off of the vertical section of the far end, because I seem to work South Africa, etc., really well with it. So, you know, it's just a thing that I've been playing about with. I've got a load of traps, 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 meter traps. No, I lied. Forget the 80 meter trap, but I've got all of the other traps, and I was thinking of replacing the end fed with a trapped dipole. So maybe for the summer, that's what I'll do. I'll get up and I'll replace that piece of wire with 2 pieces of wire with traps, and we'll see how that goes. But, you know, I've used a long wire from 1974 when I started building crystal sets and started shortwave listening. So I've always had a long wire up. And just before I got licensed in this game, which was just 4 years ago, I had a long wire up for shortwave listening and crystal sets and homebrew radios, and I just, because I'm lazy, I'm inherently lazy, I just decided to put the keep the wire up, just put an unun on it, and that has been really my mainstay for HF. But I don't know if I've wandered slightly there, and 'cause I tend to ramble on, so I may well have wandered. But like you, I come out in the garage initially. I was just sorting out, believe it or not, some germanium diodes, and I just flicked the radio on while I was searching through, and there was a net on this frequency, and because I was doing something, I didn't join in, and then the frequency went clear. I carried on doing something, come back, listened, and all there was noise. I thought, do you know what? Before I pack up for the evening, I'll jump in on the frequency, see if it's clear, and then give it a quick rev up before getting myself back inside again. So that's that long old tirade over. So back to you there, Bob. G0 WYDM0 JCF. Yeah, G0WYD. Okay there, Bob. Yeah, well, thanks for coming back to the call. And I'll talk more about antennas next time I chat with you, because today I picked up a brand new in the box a Diamond CP6 trapped vertical, which is got to go up, and waiting for the better weather for that. So we'll talk about that another time. I'll let you get back to 2 meters and do some testing and say thanks again. And I look forward to the next time. I will check you out on QRZ. I've got no computer actually in the garage with me, so it's one I don't have that luxury at the moment of checking people out in real time. But I will do that, mate. I will check out and see what you're up to. All the very best, 73. Have a fantastic weekend, and do be sure to come and jump on my frequency again if you hear me calling. But bye bye for now, and best wishes to the family. G0WYDM0 JCF going clear. Yeah, cheers, mate. Winding it up, yeah, I'll do that. I'll find shouting louder into the microphone works. Okay, QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot. Okay, one more call before I go QRT. If anyone would like a basic report and a quick rag chew, this is Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot, southeast of England, listening. Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot, calling CQ. One more time. Okay, nothing is heard. This frequency is clear for use. This frequency is clear for use. M0 JCF now clear.
Yeah, 5 and 920 mark on that one.
Ah, cheers, mate. Always nice to get a better report. I tell you what, the skip's definitely going long as well because I'm getting more and more splatter coming in from the continent, and I was rocking the width control around to try and get rid of it, but it's definitely getting louder. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye for now. M0 JCF gone clear.
Cheers, mate.